you know, just move them just half an inch before you get on, then if you tighten it. Okay, so we switched horses here a second. One of the things Amber said that has really helped her a lot is learn about the focus and the direction and getting these guys to kind of go where you want them to go when they're actually not wanting to go where you want them to go. Bubba here sometimes has a mind of his own. Like Roger always says, he has emotional problems. But no, he's an awesome horse. He really is good. He's like a Cadillac. But he gets sometimes something in his mind. And he doesn't always like to go straight. So you got to really keep your focus up. And once he goes, you know, he decides to stop, or he stops and decides, you know, when you're trying to go. So I'm just going to kind of demonstrate here a little bit as soon as Amber gets up there on Buddy. And these stirrups are way too long for me because everybody in the world, especially Amber, is way taller than me. So bear with me if you see me reaching for him to keep him in. And Amber gets to ride in jockey stirrups on Bubba there, or on Buddy there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk off here. I'm going to make sure, and you're going to see a lot of corrections here probably in the beginning, and then pretty soon Bubba will hopefully get together. So I'm going to get my reins together, and there he goes to go over to the right when I was still kind of going forward. So I just blocked that side. He ran into this side of my body. He went that way, so he ran into my leg and my rein. Now I want to turn, my whole body turns, and I want him to turn, there he pushed again. I want him to turn exactly where my body is going. Now he's pushing off to this side here, so he's just going to run into that side of my body. What happens a lot is, I'll kind of face the camera here, and I'm going to have to make him do it here. They try and veer off to the left here, and then the person tries to pull to the right to get him over there, and then all they do is just kind of fade out, and you get kind of this little type of feeling. So you want to get your little box around your horse, and you want to keep that box always around your horse. You want to keep them in the center of that box. If they go anywhere, the keys are banking on him. If he goes anywhere besides in that box, you just block what he's going to, and you feel it the second he goes. I'm thinking about his feet right now, and I'm thinking about his body. There he's pushing off on my left side, so he just runs into that left side of my body. I stay straight. He's a little bouncier than Buddy at sometimes. Like he's behind me. And then I want to turn to the right, left here. Now he's fading off to that way, so he's just going to run into my leg. And the second I feel him starting to hit the edge of that box, I correct it, just like an electric fence. An electric fence doesn't wait until you bow it out for half a foot. It shocks you right away. So I'm just going to say, you stay between my hands, between my legs, between my whole body. Where my focus is, I want you to go. I keep my focus straight all the time. Now I'm going to slow down my body here, and I want him to walk. Now I'm going to pick up my body, and I want him to trot. If he doesn't, I'm going to do something about it and kind of say, hey, I asked you to trot, and I want you to trot, and we're going to trot. Not mean about it, but I want him to listen to my body. I'm going to do the least amount possible first, but I'm going to do what I need to do to get the job done. He's pushing out to the right, so my right rein and my right leg he runs into him. It's not that I'm punishing him, he just runs into him. And the harder he runs into them, the harder he runs into them. So if he's just nice and lightly just kind of pushing, I'm not going to do a whole lot. I might just kind of tighten my calf muscle there, and he'll go. But if he really pushes hard, I'll take my leg off and have it come out the other side, figuratively, if I need to. But I'm going to do as little as possible, but do as much as I need to do to get the job done. And then once the job's done, I go right back to center. No emotion about this. I can't get all upset that he kind of went off to the side or, got out of line. And once he's back in line, I don't worry about the fact that he was just out of line. I'm going where I want to go next. I draw a line out in front of me. There, he kind of got off of me. I draw a line out in front of me, and that's where I want him to go. I have an imaginary line all the time. It's kind of like a little Etch-a-Sketch. And I'm always riding towards something. Even if I'm riding in a circle, I'm riding towards that circle. There he kind of veers out a little bit, and he got out of balance. I know where all his feet are all the time. I know where all his body parts are. When I'm looking right about out there on the circle. I can see his nose, and I can see his tail, and I can feel every part of him. When I feel a rib bulging out here, I just kind of push it back. And it's so simple. it can be hard because people overthink it too much. When I want to turn, I turn. You'll see people sometimes where they want to turn and they just kind of get this thing going on here and they try and turn their horse, and pretty soon things kind of go awry. I sit up, I'm always centered as best as I can. You know, sometimes they're gonna, like I said, stumble or something and you gotta move, but that's all right. But I keep my frame, this hand is slightly back, this hand is slightly forward, my pinky is pointing, my pinky joint is pointing where I want that left front foot to go. This is talking to this foot, this is talking to this foot, this whole side, my body is talking to the back, well, my body's talking to everything. Anything that gets out of place, I just put it back. The second I feel it going out of whack, I put it back. Hopefully if you're on the freeway and you feel those little bumper things in the lines, you know, when you go to cross a line that you're not supposed to cross and you go, brrr, you know, you don't sit there and go, oh, what's that? Maybe I'll sit here for a while. No, as soon as you feel those, you put yourself right back in the middle. And that's pretty much how this is. As soon as you feel yourself hitting one of those bumper lines, which is your hands, your legs, your body, you just put him right back where he was. Nice and simple. Again, I'll slow down my body and he slows down. I didn't have to pick up on the reins. I just stopped trotting. And there he thought about doing something, so he just ran into me that fast. If I wait until he does it for, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9 steps and then I kind of do something about it, then you're more or less punishing your horse instead of disciplining him during the act. You want to get it done during the time, not wait until he's been doing it for a while and then fix it. You want to get in, get done, get out, go on. Nice and smooth. Then I pick up my body into that trot. I didn't have to do anything except pick up my energy to trot. Now I turn and he kind of pushed against my right rein here. So he just felt a little bump on that right rein. Now he's pushing on my right leg. So I'm just going to use that heel a little bit. Again, these stirrups are a little long, so you'll see my heels up more than normal. But I just want to do just a little bit and push him out. Now let's say I just want to move my box over to the side here. So I'm just going to close that right side and move that box over. That's all I do. I just take this side and push it that way. I want to go straight. Look at those wheelbarrows. Now I just want to take this box, keep that same bend that I was doing. I just want to make my circle bigger. So I just close this, and push it over. Now what happens sometimes when people go to move in their box, I'll go back down here again so you can see it. They cross the mane. If you cross the mane and you do too much when you don't need to, you actually push your horse the wrong direction. So if I want to push him that way, and I take my hand and pull it over here, you know, things go way out of line. There's no reason for me to put my hand over here. It turns him all sorts of different directions. He has no idea where I want him to go. All I got to do is just push him. Just close that side of the box and move him over. I do not have to lean way over here. No, I can't even do it. Lean way over here and push him over. That doesn't help. I mean, he's kind of going for me. But gosh, if he trips or something, or I get him off balance, eventually he's just going to get kind of irritated with you when you do that. Because these horses are actually pretty nice. They want to stay underneath you. They don't want you to necessarily fall. They're not looking to get you off their back most of the time unless you irritate them enough. But you stay centered and you just take your center and move it over. It should be no harder to ride this horse than it is just to move your own body. And the thing of it is even if you can't move your own body, it would be just as easy to move a horse just by getting that little feel going on there and just keeping that focus of where you want them to go. So if you don't have use of your legs, you still have use of something somewhere. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you teach your horse to do, there he's pushing on me again, so he just kind of runs into me. Whatever you release at is what teaches your horse. It's pretty simple. So, I mean, he doesn't know this, but if for some reason I didn't have use of my legs, I could probably put my hand here and just move him over. I'm not doing anything with my legs or even my body, and I just kind of pushed him over there with my hand. So you can do anything that you need to do for your body, but they feel everything. Okay? Now, sometimes with these focus things, you just want to be able to move that horse's body around wherever you want him to go. And people have sometimes a little bit of trouble with tighter turns. Just tighten up your turn. Just turn further. See how now, I always say, you have your laser pointers. Point them where you want to go. If I want to go in a tighter circle, I just turn that tighter circle. If you get into leaning and doing too much, he's just going to tune you out. Keep the static out of the picture. There should be no static in your picture. What I mean by static is all this extra noise. This would be extra noise. Trying to get your horse to go. That's all extra noise. Don't need that. How little can you do? And when you do less than that, and then do less again, and just keep doing less until basically your thought is moving your horse, and that feels good to your horse, it feels good to you, and he's going to stay with you, and life will be pretty good. All right, Ariana.